Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of immortality. Om Shri Krishnaya Namah. The Gita, Chapter 18, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, Yoga of renunciation and liberation. The previous chapter ended with the mantra Om Tat Sat. The message of Om is Sanskrit word Satatya, being constant, moving on, pranava, day by day. Not with a sense of boredom, the sense of something new. The curious cat. All that has happened to you. Now something new is coming. So that type of sense of satatya, tat, that relates to being alipt. Do not become tainted. Be like the sky. The sky sees the clouds coming in, all types, good ones, bad ones. But the sky doesn't say to them, there is no room empty here. All is occupied. All are welcome. There's no limit, anyone. And remains unaffected, untouched. The clouds come, do so many things. You remember all the hurricanes. Look up into the sky, and those hurricanes have not left any trace. Otherwise, people would say, look at that particular scratch came from Irma. Yeah. And coming generations will see the sky full of scratches. Om Tat Sat. Sat is Satatya. Movement flowing towards absolute reality, truth. Lead me asatoma sadgamaya. You are moving from the world of limitation, illusion, the world of Maya, to absolute reality. You are moving from darkness to light. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. You are moving from mortality to immortality. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. All these are profound prayers of the Vedas. Asatoma sadgamaya. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. Coming into verse number 10. Lord Krishna is giving insight into the real goal of life. That goal is attained by developing that profound insight into that Om Tat Sat. Process leading to that attainment is described in two ways: sannyasa, renunciation; tyaga, literally implies giving up. More richer language is relinquishment. But don't be confused. Tyaga and sannyasa are synonyms for those who are advanced. 10th verse. Nadvashya kushalam karma kushale nanushajyate tyagi sattva samavishto medhavi chinna sanshaya. Dominated by sattva or purity. A sattvic tyagi, tyaga, relinquishment, is three types: sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. And sattvic tyagi is the ideal. That's what will lead you to liberation. A sattvic tyagi, having dispelled all doubt, chinna sanshaya. I will explain that. Let me reiterate. There are three impediments in the practice of vichar. Vichar means inquiry, leading to understanding. Who am I? Most people don't care to understand. Who cares? I know who am I. I see my face in the mirror. I can count all my teeth. I'm joking. But a serious interest in a very profound way to develop within oneself, though I'm saying very easily and quickly, it is a task to be obtained by profound spiritual movement. And so it has to be kept as an ideal. But even though the ideal may be like pole star far away, yet that pole star is the guiding factor in your daily life. In other words, I'm using the old time culture. People took up any journey or a trip during the night. Pole star was the guiding point, told them where is the north. If you know the north, you know other directions also. Now, coming to doubts. The mind holds sanshaya. Actually, it holds three obstacles: sanshaya bhavana, asambhavana, viparita bhavana. Doubting state of mind. First. The sense of impossibility, that second obstacle. And viparita bhavana, a completely distorted notion. Sanshaya bhavana is also known as dvividha. Dvividha means that there are two things before you. Should I go this way or should I go that way? For 1 week you went that way. But decided, no, I have to go that way. So come back another week and take up the other way. Having gone 1 week the other way, come decide, no, the other way was more interesting. There was a peacock on the path. And come back, you go through the other way. But this time you find a vulture. come back and can go on keeping the whole time anymore. It's called Sanshaya Bhavana. Unable to have a clear understanding the path to follow, constantly moving back and forth. And that Sanshaya Bhavana is removed by Shravana, listening. That's what you do in satsanga. Teachings are given and you are listening. But listening becomes effective if your mind is not already biased. So therefore, listening process has to be repeated again and again along with your daily sadhana. Now, next obstacle, as you begin to develop certain degree of mental focus and your intellect develops certain type of ability to understand, your mind becomes mathematical. Previously, you didn't know about law of karma, etc. You were quite relaxed. But now you are become a vidwan, you have become a learned in scripture. So start remembering what bad karmas have I done. And have I paid for those bad karmas? Have I practiced prayaschitta? Have I practiced atonement for those sins? If I not, then I have to count how many is still remaining. So go on checking things that were wrong. But now by your mind opens to another dimension. It is not only you are going to work with your negative, positive karmas of this life, but countless lives. When that comes to your mind, oh, liberation is impossible. Asambhavana. How can you empty the ocean with a blade of grass? Impossible. This error is removed by manana, using bhakti path, bhakti devotional language, japa, kirtan, singing the praises of God, acts the same way as what we call shravana. You are listening to those stotras, those bhajans, kirtans. The listening opens your understanding. So you may call it bhajan kirtan or call it shravan. Same thing. But this obstacle of sense of impossibility, that's removed by when you begin to assimilate what you are listening. You see the food placed on your plate, and your mind goes on calculating. Does it have all the vitamins? Does it have all the minerals? And you go into lots of mental confusion. Second stage, you start chewing and come to realize you have the capacity to draw the proper nutrition you need. I'm giving a crude illustration. But the idea is teachings that you have heard and sit in your head as theoretical concepts. Now those concepts are brought into your life gradually. When that begins to happen, and you see a remarkable change occurring within you, then you realize that nothing is impossible. I can attain enlightenment. I have all those resources. And God is behind this whole project. So I'm not working just by my ego. Doing your sadhana, turning your attention to that parable of the sparrow. From individual point of view, your movement is like the sparrow's movement. But when you begin to assimilate the spiritual teachings and you allow japa, devotional practice, to enter your heart, Shraddha within you, faith, begins to spread its wings. It has been sitting without the strength of flying. Shraddha becomes dynamic. When Shraddha becomes dynamic, your mind cannot entertain the idea it is impossible. Your mind turns to God because everything in this world is unreal. God alone is real. And what's impossible for God? So Godward movement cannot have any obstruction. It's a movement of light. Light versus darkness. And the victory of light is absolutely secure. Again, whenever I'm saying these, you do not experience that to fullest measure, but as you advance, you go on developing that in different degrees. And the third obstacle of developing a narrow-minded concept of the whole process, that it's not possible. God didn't create the world. If He is so kind and compassionate, why did He create all this misery? Look anywhere, even a little mosquito is suffering, not getting your blood. I'm joking. Another illustration, Viparita Bhavana. When you look into a mirror and someone suddenly asks, not knowing what you are doing, what are you doing? You say, I'm seeing myself in a mirror. What I'm leading you to understand, if you are literally truthful, saying what you are seeing, so what will you say? You are seeing the mirror. Why do you put your attention to reflection? Why not to the mirror itself? Why not put your focus to the consciousness in which all your experiences reflect? But due to ignorance, this vision has become upside down. Your attention goes towards the reflections, the world of Maya. Then thinks of God. So we describe God is in the world. God is in my heart. The reality is, all this world, you and all your heart is within God. So that type of profound insight, just to give you easier way to understand, all illuminations that emanate from the sun on the earth, they are in the sun. They have not come out of the sun. I'm speaking allegorical language. Because the moment the sun sets, all illuminations go. All your experiences are like illuminations. The real consciousness, pure consciousness is like the sun. And all these illuminations, they are in the sun, permeated by the sun. The sun is the reality behind them. When that understanding comes, your viparita bhavana, twisted understanding, is corrected. Shravana is corrected by listening or by bhajan, kirtan. I'm talking about the sanshaya bhavana. Asambhavana, sense of impossibility, is corrected by deep meditation, profound devotion. And viparita bhavana is corrected by profound insight, intuitional knowledge gained by profound meditation. Deep meditation is nididhyasan in Vedanta, samadhi in Raja Yoga. So, a sattvic tyagi, having dispelled all doubts, here the ideal, what does a sattvic tyagi in absolute, in the state of absolute perfection? Who is that sattvic tyagi? In whom all these doubts, shavana, sanshaya bhavana, asambhavana, viparita bhavana, doubts, sense of impossibility, the twisted knowledge, all are removed. When the scripture uses only one word, doubts, it's called upalakshana, it's pointing the finger to all obstacles. And as you begin to remove these obstacles, your intellect turns into intuitional intellect. That movement again is a progressive movement. And one who possesses that type of ascending purity called Medhavi. Medha term itself implies intuitive state. Such a person does not hate a disagreeable action, nor does he become attached to an agreeable one. Disagreeable and agreeable it relates to ego's concept. Certain life presents both situations, agreeable and disagreeable. For majority of people, agreeable situation is wonderful. Disagreeable situation, wastage of time. The mind has a completely negative view of disagreeable situations. So you go on building up animosity towards anything disagreeable. If you are advanced, then you see a purpose behind God's Leela. The world presents agreeable and disagreeable situations, just like day and night. The picture of the day is totally different. The picture of the night is totally different. The picture of joyous situation is different. The picture of distressing situation is different. But think from your childhood state. You couldn't have grown unless you have faced both. A child walks, he's joyous. But in order that his walking becomes still better, nature makes him stumble. So he exercises his legs, straightens himself, he learns. From each pitfall, you learn where your weakness is. And thank God that He has reminded you of it. And also thank God that He will give you the energy and strength to pass through it, to survive your adversity. Just like the moon, covered by clouds, seems to be lost. But when it begins to emerge out of the cloud, you become surprised. It is shining brighter than before. It's a poetic language. Each time you emerge out of an adverse or challenging situation, if you have been living a healthy life with an open mind, you are stronger than before. You are in a position to understand the difficulties of others. Your capacity to do karma yoga is advances more. So adversity and prosperity both become enriching for the soul. Nothing is wasted. That's what one has to come to understand. The world is not to be viewed in the terms of your ego's calculations. Prasannatam yanagata abhishekata tathana mamle banavasa dukkhata. Prayer for Rama, whose happiness didn't increase when his father said, you are going to be the king. Prasannatam yanagata abhishekata. And very next day, he's sent out to forest, exiled for 14 years. Ordinarily, reaction would be, why 14? Give me just 1 month. Rather, the face of Rama remained absolutely joyous. So that's the ideal before everyone. The Rama's face has to emerge in the every personality. If you have come to that type of experience, then you are Tyagi, absolute Tyagi. You are then absolute sannyasi, absolute yogi. 11th verse. Nahi devrita shakyam tyaktum karmanya sheshata yastu karma phala tyagi sa tyagi tya vidhiyate. It is impossible for an embodied person to renounce all actions. Therefore, he who renounces the fruits of karmas is called a tyagi, a man of true renunciation. First point to understand that you don't have a choice. Just like everybody says, should I be a tyagi, should I be a sannyasi? with the idea that should I go on living in the world with all the work and activity? Should I stay out of all that? The fact is, you don't have any choice. Can you be out of all that? Can you keep your body inactive even for a few minutes? Can you stop breathing? Can you stop thinking? Can you stop imagining? Can you stop listening? Can you stop moving your tongues? I'm giving you broader, but to come to more practical way to understand. Daily, you have no contradiction of any type to involve yourself in bathing and daily chores the body needs. So if you have no contradiction with that, you must understand that renunciation, you are not in a position to renounce all activities. As long as you live, there will be always, you are flowing with action. Led by your karmic process, you have come into a family where the stream of activity that flows is well matched for your spiritual advancement. But when I'm saying all that, that doesn't mean that you are to be stuck in your family. In the flow, automatically, there are many possibilities under the will of God. In other words, perform your duties. To understand the difference between Swadharma and Paradharma. Swadharma, you enjoy doing it. And when you do it, you feel more relaxed. I'm talking at a little higher stage. For people who are not evolved, they wouldn't understand this point. The thief likes to steal and he enjoys doing it. The Gita has put a special touch. Do your Swadharma with the idea that you are worshipping God by doing that. So, bring the sense of worshipping God. Now, therefore, if you bring that in your mind, you cannot create a project that is negative. I'm going to steal and I will offer it to God. Who doesn't want to offer it to human beings? I'm giving you kind of allegorical language. So the more that idea of worshipping God through your karmas, whatever duty you do, a part of worshipping God, the more that develops, the limitations and weaknesses that are there in your mind, they are not encouraged. They begin to drop off automatically. So, the teaching, do Swadharma and surrender the fruit of Dharma, Swadharma, to God. Do your Swadharma in the spirit of invoking God, worshipping God. Now, just to give you a simple idea, someone says, I'm not going to be in the world, I don't want to be entangled. I'll go to the forest. Try to understand the psychology. Goes to the forest, and the scriptures have given many stories about it. And now he is not with his relatives and people around him and all that. He looks at his hut, found something by the river, very alone, and peace and tranquility. A mind that has been so burdened with so many things, now she is so relaxed. Why didn't I do that before? It's a wonderful state. Complete mauna and silence. Sheetal mand sugandh. But while he is doing, a squirrel looks at him. I'm trying to dramatize. And develops the habit of coming at a certain time. He expects it. But this is just a drop in the bucket. he becomes attached to his hut, to the trees around, the monkeys that sit upon the trees. His expectations are to hear certain things, to see certain flowers blossom. So though he thinks that he has renounced the world, but he becomes deeply attached, an attachment that leads him to tamas, without purpose. You attach to deer and birds, etc. That doesn't serve your human purpose. You can love them, but attachment is different. 12th verse. Anishtamishtam mishram cha trividham karmana phalam bhavat tityaginam pretya natu sannyasinam kvachit. 3 types of fruits, pleasant, unpleasant, and mixed, belong to those who have not renounced the fruits of karma. But they do not affect those who have attained renunciation. The purpose behind what's tyaga? Renunciation. Renunciation is leading you to become free from karmic bondage. You are bonded with karma. You are going to go on incarnating endless. And that should not be your goal. There couldn't be a greater hell than coming back again and again, repeating the same experiences and not learning lessons from them. Karmas are of 3 types: sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Sattvic karmas give you happiness. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati. Gita in 14th chapter has given that study, that statement. When there is sattva, one experiences happiness. When rajas develops, one experiences ashama. Shama is serenity. You are no longer able to have serenity. Another word is used in India, ashanti. You're no longer peaceful. A simple word, dukh, pain. So the fruit of sattva is happiness. Fruit of rajas is pain. And fruit of tamas, pramad and moha. Pramad is laziness. Rather, it is not doing the duty at the right time, called inadvertence, kind of a procrastination is simpler word. Illustration is sloth. See the animal sloth, how does it operate? And moha. Moha is deluded form of attitude towards your near and dear ones. And that is always there in all. But if you are aspirant, moving forward, growing in spirituality, then moha is reduced and prem, pure love, develops more and more. But if you are not on the right course, moha keeps your mind gripped. And then ego becomes exceedingly inflated. You can't see anything beyond your ego. 13th verse. Panchemani mahabaho karanani nibodhame sankhye kritante proktani siddhaye sarva karmanam. O great Arjuna, learn of me, of the fact that there are 5 factors implied in the performance of any karma. This is the view held by the philosophy of Sankhya, another way of understanding Vedanta. And these 5 factors lead you to the performance of all karmas. And deep insight into these 5 enable you to become free of all karma. What are those 5 factors? Sharir vang mano viryat karma prarabhate naraha nyayam va viparitam va panchaite tasya hetavaha. Before I go there, 14th verse. Adhishtanam tatha karta karanam cha prithag vidham vividhascha prithak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam. This is the 14th verse. 5 factors are adhishthan. Adhishthan literally implies, first is kind of a simile is given of a farmer and a field that the farmer has to work upon. Adhishthan means the field. Understanding it in a different angle, your body mindset that God has given you is the field. And the soul within you is the farmer. So adhishthan, the next term is karta, actor, the doer. Third term is instruments. Just like a farmer needs various instruments to work upon his field. You have been given instruments, mind, senses. But if you are a good farmer and you have a good field before you, and all the technical equipments are also with you, and you feel lazy, can't do anything about it. You have all that is there. So therefore, the next factor is chesta. Chesta is your vibrant involvement in doing your job. And you have all this. Understand, all this doesn't secure your success. Daivam, God particle enters now, known as Daivam, God's will. Because ultimately, all things, your whole soul and its movement is under the observance of God's plan, how to lead your soul to liberation. Ordinary mothers keep their children deluded. But God is mother of mothers. I'm joking. God, all mothers don't do that. They want their children to be quite progressive. I'm talking about the dull-wit ones. In simple terms, God's relationship with you is out of immense love. And to put it very simple way, if a farmer has all this, and he has even sown the seeds in the field, if rain does not come, then all his effort goes in vain. So, Swadharma implies do all that you can as a farmer and add to it surrender to God. But then, general masses, they don't have all this understanding all that you think, I have put my intelligence, my cleverness, my foxy tricks, everything possible. And it is I who am going to attain success. By hook or by crook. I'll just tell you a parable. In a village, there lived an old lady. Children used to entertain her from the locality. And the lady was amused in the beginning, but as time passed, she developed senility, and the children's coming and doing tricks began to irritate her. And she said, being too irritated, she said to them, I'm going to take my, what do you call it, hen, chicken, cock, away and going into another village. And you will not see the morning ever again. Because when the cock crows, sun rises. But take my crow away, sun will not rise. And that crow is your ego. Take your ego away, things won't happen. So with this I will come. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.